Yo. Okay. Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. Just check for the comments too, and see, because a lot of people probably went to that other link. Morning, everybody from Bali, Indonesia. This is our, I don't even know if it's our backyard. Just everything's open air. There's no doors anywhere in Bali. So this is just where we sleep here and we walk out here, and there's a forest and a river here, and the beach is down there. And yeah, a little update. I mean, I was thinking about how many miles I normally travel, like if we put it on a globe, and now my whole radius that we live on and play on, eat on, is probably about maybe 1.5 square kilometers. And of all blessings in these times, just the simple life is really showing up well for me and my family. So I hope that you find that the simplicity of these times is at least a blessing. I know they're challenging. I feel that they're challenging as well. And that's why we're doing these classes, by the way. Statistically, 1/3 of Americans, I'm sure it's the same in all countries, that's just where the statistics that I know come from, are having a challenge paying their rent. So when I hear stuff like this, I think, God, I got to share my gifts, my tools, which are these classes, which is not just about yoga. It is about connection. Connection is our currency in Blissology. And whenever people come to yoga classes, whether it's online like this or in person, uh, even if you're in your apartment somewhere on a device, my goal at the end of a yoga class is threefold. Am I more in love with myself, meaning my body? Do I see my body as a miracle, as a gift? Am I more in love with my mind? So am I more in love with my body and my mind? Are they my friends and not my enemy? Am I more in love with others is the second question. So are people just strangers and transactional and people who could get me sick? Or can I actually bless them energetically and still keep moving the needle towards more kindness with others? So am I more in love with my own body and mind? Am I more in love with others? And the third thing I want you to feel at the end of every Blissology yoga class is, am I more in love with nature? Nature. And look, we have amazing apps right now. I know we're using technology and we're using it well, but there's a point where technology can start using us and we actually become less intuitive, less aware of our bodily sensations, and less poetic about life when we simply always want to look at our apps with the stars and not just actually see the stars and feel the stars and feel our own stardustness. I hope you know where I'm going with that. So, am I more in love with my own self, with others, and nature is where we're going. All right, so we're making these classes free by donation, but if you ever want to make a donation, just to let you know off the top, you can check out paypal.me/Blissology Ecokarma, and we will use those funds to get more coral out into the ocean. The rising ocean temperatures are completely decimating the corals, and corals can be transplanted. Losing corals in the ocean, just so you know, isn't like losing a species. It's like losing trees in a forest. It's like losing a whole ecosystem. So we're starting to ramp up our work even here in Bali to get more coral back in the ocean. All right, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm doing this class on YouTube because I want to ramp up our YouTube channel. It's been a little dormant for years and not really our focus, but in these challenging post-COVID times where a lot of us are struggling financially, it's my goal and Incia's goal to get this content out to people that they can use on a donation basis, because we have to keep our vibration high and our health amazing, our immunity really good. So that's what we're doing. All right. So that's what I have to tell you about. Make sure you sign up and subscribe to our Blissology YouTube channel. Make sure you sign up on blissology.com for our newsletter, and make sure you bless people energetically through your internet. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started with some yoga. I want to tell you one more thing. Blankets. Please have a blanket ready or a cushion, because I do believe in the process of meditation. I think a lot of people have a hard time meditating because they make it cerebral and like I'm not going to think. But the beautiful thing you'll see is when we make meditation physical and after we move the issues out of our tissues in the yoga practice, you will be able to drop into a state of mind called bliss, called connection, called love and joy. All right, so let's start on that note. How about the most simple but beautiful pose, child's pose? Okay, so we're going to practice for about 40 minutes, just so you can figure out your babysitting schedule, your work schedule, whatever you got to do. All right. Um, but I want us to find the ground. Literally, my goal is to bring spirituality down to earth, literally. So let's hit the ground in child's pose. Now, if your knees are not good, like not optimal, let's say, then your thighs are more up and down and you're doing it this way. Okay, so don't put all your body weight on your knees if it hurts your knees. But what I want you to do is find softness. Okay, just want you to scan your body. Am I more in love with my body means we got to pay attention. And it's morning here, and what I'm feeling is, I got a little tightness in my back, upper shoulders, possibly from financial concerns, possibly from paddling these amazing surfboards. Waves have been pumping here. I don't know, but I'm going to breathe into the backs of my shoulders. Breathe into wherever you're tightest. Expand it. And breathe out through an open mouth. And make a little sound. And just let the wind swirl in the back of the throat when it comes in. Make a little ocean sound. Open your mouth as you breathe out. I'm just going to get out of your way and let you breathe like that for about 25 seconds. Breathe, soften, expand. Let's do one more breath. Now straighten the arms out in front of you. Spread those beautiful fingertips of yours wide. Tuck your toes under. And we'll press up and back into a pose that we inherited from our dog friends. Press back. Breathe. And I love evolutionary biology. And the tailbone, we call it, used to be a tail. So I want you to press your thumbs and hands into the floor and feel just a little bit of engagement through the back of your glute muscles and hamstrings, just a touch, to pull your hips back as if someone's pulling you back by your tail, your tailbone. Breathe into that space in your spine. And breathe out through an open mouth. If your heels don't hit the floor, no drama. Breathe into the shape. It's borrowed again from nature, from dogs, from wolves, from cats. Breathe out, open mouth. And then slowly from here, bring one foot forward between the hands and then the other. So you're at the top of your mat. Fold forward. And what matters here is that your pelvis moves. Your pelvis needs to move. And if your legs are too straight and your hamstrings are tight, what will happen is your spine will round, but your pelvis won't move. You need to feel your sit bones lifting up at the front and the front of the pelvis pressing towards the thigh bones. And you want to feel like someone's pulling your shoulders away from your hips and your hips away from your shoulders so your back gets long.
And what I'm saying is you need to have your knees bent in order to do that if you're tighter, and don't feel that's cheating. Make the traction and spinal length the priority. And then tune into the jellyfish of the diaphragm in order to do that. Expand with your breath in, your lengthen your spine, and breathe it on out through an open mouth, toes active. Do one more. Epic. Bend your knees, inhale, and reach on up. And exhale, hands come quietly down. Let's just pause for about 30 seconds for station identification. Again, find the ground with your feet spread out through the toes. Turn your body, the crown, into an antenna. The back of the skull reaches upwards towards the sky. And see the trees behind me? The breath that you're breathing in comes from those green leafy things. Cellular respiration and photosynthesis are very connected processes. Breathe in. And breathe out. Soften your brain. All right, simple sun salutations. Hands go down. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, fold forward and stretch out your beautiful back. Look up and breathe in. Can we meet chaturanga, push up, out breath position. Up and over the toes for upward dog shape. Expand. And then glide on back, downward dog. Hips go high, upwards towards the sky. Adjust your feet if you need to. 2 breaths. Breathe out. Inhale in. And exhale it out. Do it again. Big breath in. And big breath out. Look between your hands. Your feet are landing there. Go ahead. Lift your chest up and breathe in. Lengthen your spine. Fold forward, tipping the pelvis. Turn your hip flexors on. Broaden the back. Inhale. Reach the arms up high to the sky. Reach on up. And hands quietly down. Bueno. Let's do one more. Inhale. Reach. Get long. Exhale. Over. Let it go. Inhale. Long in the torso. Exhale. Back we go into chaturanga push-up position. Up and over the toes, big breath in, and glide on back, downward dog again. So a little variation here. Right hand lifted up. This is my right hand. And I'm going to bring it towards the back of the left knee, left ankle, or the left heel. And I press on this diagonal, my left armpit towards the right foot as I lift my tailbone higher to the sky. Breathe into that space and breathe on out. Spread your right fingertips wide. Bring your hands to the floor. Take your left hand over to your choice, back of the knee, ankle, heel. Press your hips up and back. Press your chest towards your feet. Just get nice and long in this beautiful twist. Breathe in and breathe out. One more. And then back we go to a nice downward facing dog shape. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. Open up through the toes. Now step your right foot deeply forward into a lunge. Your back heels up. Now, just take a simple breath in. I'm going to let the right knee go forward. I lift up. I breathe in. There's tension on the left thigh as I breathe in. And then as I breathe out, I simply straighten the right leg into pyramid pose. First one's hard, but you'll see a few of these will bring the mobility back. Inhale, repeat the process. Breathe in, bend your knee. Exhale, straighten both legs and pull the hips towards the wall behind you. Breathe out. Inhale, take a big breath. Look up like upward dog. Exhale, straighten your right leg, pull the pelvis backwards. Inhale one more time. And exhale, straight right leg, reach the fingertips out in front of you. If you're not so open, no drama, your hands are on the shin. And you're just really making spinal length your priority. The sensation of spinal length the priority. Duo in Blissology means head moves forward, right hip pulls back. Breathe out. Inhale in. We're just warming up. And exhale. Now come on to the left fingertips. If you can, keep your back left heel up, but you might not be able to, and reach your right arm upwards towards the sky. Now, if it's too hard for you, just have that left hand on the right shin. Reach up and back. Now, to get this, you got to really scissor the legs together. And reach out through the crown. Take 2 breaths. Breathe into your right hip. It should stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Hands to the floor. I know it's a little bit intense, but it feels good. Step on back, downward dog. And we'll just do simple warm-ups other side. Left leg, open up your toes. And then go ahead, step that left foot forward into a lunge. Let's just go right into the flow 4 times. Inhale, look up, breathe in. Exhale, pyramid pose. Back we go. Yummy. Inhale, bend your knee, look up. Number 2. Exhale, straighten your left leg and breathe out. Really get into the breathing. Breathe in. Exhale, straighten your left leg and stretch. Pull the left hip back. One more time. Big breath in. And exhale, back we go. Again, if you're not quite so open, your hands are up higher. You can even have blocks under here. But I want you to feel that you're pressing back. Your fingertips are reaching forward. And it's like someone's pulling, like a water ski rope. Someone's pulling you by your hands. But you're also tractioning that left hip back. Breathe in again. And breathe out. Do one more. Now, right fingertips on the floor. Stay long through the crown. You got to keep pulling that left hip back. Left arm goes upwards towards the sky. We'll take 3 breaths. You can move that right hand up to the left shin if you want. Inhale in. Exhale it out. Do it again. Exhale. You got this. One more. And hands come down onto the floor. Muy bien. Back we go. Downward dog. Hips go high, upwards towards the sky. Epic. Right leg, now reach it upwards towards the sky, and then go ahead, step that right foot forward between the hands. Reverse warrior. So you're going to see my back. Don't worry. Come on up. Reverse warrior. Breathe in. And take a few breaths. You're kind of pressing your right armpit up and away from the left foot. This direction, can you see? I'm going that plane, making that happen as I arch back. Keep breathing. Keep opening. One more breath. And then straighten your right leg to your own degree. Let this left hip come forward a little and side tilt the pelvis. Keep tipping the pelvis, so I'm trying to bring this side of the hip towards my thigh bone and reach out through the head as the left arm goes up. Breathe in, triangle, and breathe out. I want you to notice I have wide legs. Inhale in again, and exhale. I'm trying to stretch the underside of my right leg. Do one more, and then come on up, reverse warrior again. Go ahead. Come on up, reverse warrior. Now, there's all kinds of different levels of people watching this class. So you can just repeat exactly what we just did. Reverse warrior, breathe in. In fact, we'll start there. Straighten your right leg. Now slowly let your right hand come down, and you can reach the left arm up over top of the head. Stay right there. But if you want to do a little bit deeper version, we call this surfer's triangle. Then I take my body, rotate it towards the left, and I circle that left hand up over the head, and I press my pelvis towards the front left corner of the mat so that I get stretch in my left psoas, and I reach that left arm over the head, so I'm arching back. Okay, like a surfer when they are doing a bottom turn. So take a few more breaths. This feels good when you get it. Breathe in and breathe out. And let your hands come down onto the floor. Amazing. Step on back. Lower on down to a push-up. Now enjoy the breath as you come in. Connect to nature. Inhale in and glide on back to our downward dog shape. Amazing. Shaka. Good vibes. Left leg towards the sky. Open up. Step the left foot forward between the hands. And then super gracefully come on up into a reverse warrior position. Feel the breath.
Feel the breathing. Feel when you breathe in, your tailbone's going down. Feel when you breathe in, your sternum's going up. And then arch back, breathe, open, open. Take one more breath in. Straighten your left leg. Let this right hip come forward a little. And the objective here is to tilt the pelvis. Take your hand on your tailbone for a second. You want your tailbone to go up. Okay, so it's got to move. Tailbone goes up. Most people bend the spine. Tailbone goes up. You're mobilizing right here at this hip joint, left hip joint. Breathe, right arm upwards towards the sky. Open up, breathe. Now, reach for the crown, breathe in. Take your hand like this. This is my right hand. And connect it energetically to your left hip. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, watch, I'm going to press my hand this way, and I pull my hip with it. That way, up and back. Up and back. So I get more stretch in the left leg. Do 2 more breaths. And then come on up, reverse warrior. So slow and steady. Slow and steady doesn't win the race because you don't need to win the race. As we say a lot in Blissology, you don't need a gold star because you are one. Open up. Slowly, let's go again one more time into Trikonasana with the right arm over the head. Option 1. Option 2 is just more surf infused. It's a flow rotation around this way, and then that right hand keeps going back, 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 back. Now I got to drive off this right foot and send my pelvis up and forward. And I just keep breathing and opening up. So I'm really getting into the front body stretch of this. Inhale in. Exhale it out. Make sure it doesn't hurt your SI joint. Breathe in again. Yes. And then hands come to the floor. Amazing. Left leg upwards towards the sky. And then lower down, push up. Up and over the toes. Big breath in. And glide on back. Downward dog. Walk your hands towards the back of the mat. Lift your tailbone. Breathe in. Fold forward and stretch. You're going to feel this feels so much easier than when we started practice. Lengthen through the spine. So again, I want you to feel if there's a sound effect in your spine, it's going to be as you lengthen each single vertebra away from the one below it. Breathe in and breathe out. And just feel how the breathing, the diaphragm does that for you. Inhale in and exhale it out. Now come on to a squat if it doesn't hurt your knees. Knees, armpits, knees, armpits. Bring these places together. All right. Now, crow pose. Knees and armpits are as much as possible in the same place. I come up onto the tippy toes. My elbows are bent. Now, don't look down. Look forward. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze everything in. Lift up one or both feet and just hug everything in like you have the world's biggest tube of toothpaste between your arms and your knees. Gather and then land your feet back onto the floor. Straighten the legs and fold at the back of your mat. Stretch it out. Epic. Now, speaking of dogs, just consciously walk your paws forward, just feeling that the hands are these beautiful, intelligent paws. Like really, the problem with yoga is that as a species, we haven't been on our hands for a long time, but we got to bring that intelligence back. Breathe in and breathe out. Now bring your knees down onto the floor and take your right foot forward into a lunge. All right, from this simple place, lift your back left kneecap up off the floor. And the number one priority here is just, can you touch your left front thigh? Don't worry about how far back you arch. You just want that nice stretch, and we're going into it through an eccentric contraction. So come up on Jnanasana, but your left knee will not touch the floor. Press your left hand forward, press it forward. Now I'm going to press my whole body forward, and then I go up. I go up. And then I imagine that there's a high jump bar behind my shoulders, and I reach back, and I reach back. I can even hold that thigh. But I'm hovering my left knee like 3-4 inches, maybe an inch from the floor. Open, one more breath. Yes. And then straighten your right leg and stretch. Pyramid pose. We've been in pyramid pose before. Stretch. Inhale in. It'll go easier this time. And exhale it out. Come forward again into a lunge. Drop your knee onto the floor. Let's twist. Left hand forward and bring that left elbow around the right knee. Hands are in prayer. And lift the back left kneecap up. Revolve prayer twist. Now, right hip wants to go outwards towards the right. This is my right hip. So I'm going to press it back and in as I reach out through the head. Now, most people just kind of hang out here, but watch, I need to elongate up out of the pose. Elongate up and out. Breathe in. You can bring your hands into the game. Breathe out. One more. And slowly, hands come back down onto the floor and step on back, downward dog. Let's take the left foot now into a lunge. We won't bring the knees onto the floor for this side. That was just to give you a little break last side. Come back. Touch here, your right thigh. We're trying to stretch that. Can you touch your lower 2 abdominal muscles right here? That lifts your pubic bone in the front. Those lower 2 abdominals. You're not squeezing the butt. Press your right hip forward. You can even use your hand. Drop your knee down, but I got to keep pressing forward. And then I go up. And you should feel your front quadricep opening like crazy. I can stay like this, or I can take my left hand back, but I'm hovering the knee. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Yes. And straighten your left leg. Double shaka, pyramid pose. Breathe into your left hip and love it. Breathe out. Breathe in again. And breathe out. One more. Big out breath. Bend your left knee. Drop your right knee to the floor. Bring team right elbow around team left thigh. Now press those 2 places together. See, if I just don't do that, I sink down. But as soon as I press them up, I get that elongation I need through the spine. Back right kneecaps up off the floor now. And I feel someone pulling me backwards by my right ankle as I feel people pulling me forward by my shoulders. Imaginary people. Breathe in. Now let the breath do that. And breathe out. 2 more breaths. You can change your hands if you want. Breathe in and breathe out. One more. And let your hands come down onto the floor. And we'll step on back to a nice downward facing dog shape. Bring the knees down. Bring your hands onto your hips. We're at camel pose. So I need to press my pelvis forward. I still need to lift up here using my pubic bone lifting. I roll the thighs in so the butt doesn't harden. And I can bring my hands on my hips or down into my heels and breathe out. Go again, big breath in. And big breath out. One more. And then come on out of the pose. Downward dog. Pelvis presses back and up. Oh my God, camel pose. Step that beautiful right foot of yours between the hands. Drop your left knee down. And let's give the hips some love. Okay, so walk the right foot over towards the left. Just a little bit here in Bali. I gotta take this. Your right foot over towards the left. Heel comes under the body. But most people draw the heel under the body too much and they end up falling forward like this. We have an amazing alignment course called Align Your Yoga, Align Your Life on our blissology.teachable.com account. And I want to show you a little bit about how we do it there. And there's a book coming out about this. Take your right foot forward a little bit more. And don't worry about how low your hips get to the floor. See, I can lift up really high. Instead of letting my head get pressed forward this way, I want to use my hands, start to back the truck up, and my right hip and my left knee go back. And again, if it's too much for me, I lift up off the floor that left knee. Don't worry about whether the hips hit the floor. Then I keep reaching that left hand forward, and even as I reach it forward, I'm pressing my hips back. My right hand's over to the right, and I'm pressing. What happened? Right, imagine it like a balloon. Breathe in, expand it, and breathe. Are we back? Okay, sorry, I think we lost everyone for a second. Technology. Even if technology disconnects us briefly, we're always connected, if not through our heart phones or through our smartphones, through our heart phones. So left leg up. Step your left foot forward into a lunge. We'll get it. Yeah. Okay. Just to pause for a second. We lost a few people there with technology issues. I'm not sure what. Take your left foot, walk it over towards the left for pigeon pose, next side. So here we go. Pigeon pose, next side. And again, here's what most people I see do. They bring all their body weight onto the knee and they're trying to get the hips to the floor and they collapse their body weight in a heap onto the left hip. Oh, I just felt my knee crack doing that. And then the knees and the hips don't feel good. So bring your left foot a little bit more forward. Bring your right knee up. Watch. Bring your right knee up. And even if I'm up like this, I'm pressing my hips back. And I'm activating my foot. And there's no misalignment between my shin bones and my thigh bones. And if I'm up here and breathing,